Hello?
Why are you calling me on stereo?
Because Tony, I ain't gonna lie, I'm hella mad. I'm hella mad right now. I'm hella mad, and and I just wanted to call on stereo because, well, this is like a this is Tony hella mad. I just so I went online, found out some news, and I'm just hella mad. So I need to chat to you on stereo for about it, and I want your opinion and whatnot. Anyway,
What news?
so get this right. On Henry Cavill's birthday, right? Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Put out a post saying that they're doing a reboot of Superman and it's going to be Black Superman. And it's not going to be Val Zod, the natural Black Superman from a different universe. It's going to be Kal-El, Black Superman.
There, there was like literally no need to do that. They could have just done Calzod.
This is what I'm saying. Like everybody,
I mean,
so
he
even
also he has his own mythology and history. Like there's a bunch of
exactly,
comics about him. You might as well just do
exactly.
Calzod. You just doing a black Superman for
It's
no reason. It's
Val
so
Zod.
disingenuous. Like it's like doing a black Wonder Woman. You didn't need to do a black Wonder Woman. There's actually a black Wonder Woman. She has her own name and her own history. They even show how she was made, like the original Wonder Woman, except they used a darker clay.
It's the whole thing. Like it's the whole was it affirmative action? All these
It's
pandering
because
down
everybody
to
wants to suckle on the teat of what was
no
Black Panther.
nobody
They're like, man, these
no
black people love
literally
that
nobody yeah because
representation.
black yeah
Really? And we
it's the
talk
whole
about
thing,
this
isn't
for
it?
100 years? Okay.
Black Panther basically showed the fact that everybody that the black community as like Black Panther, Blade, Spawn,
That's when
so
black
many
money is real money. Black people come out,
because black
show out.
because honestly I think it's because a lot of people forget that black people no offense but black people in general are very much nerdy characters. Like we have that kind. We're not nerdy characters per se, but we are
But we're
deeply
really
we
into
love
media.
anime. We're
Yeah,
intermediate, but
yeah.
we're
Yeah,
especially
we
like
love
anime,
everything.
especially comic books, and because when you know what you live in a world where you live in a world where everything's unfair, and it's nice to see, and it's nice to live in the fantasy of where you know where you see that character difference where you have that where there are people who are in this world universe or whatever you call it um
Yeah, it's escapism.
you know that escapism and it's just honestly I mean one they did it on his birthday.
I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't matter they did it on his birthday because, like, let's be honest. Henry Cavill, by the way, a British man, so basically the UK won. I'm just saying we won America, so shut up. Yeah, so was pretty much the best Superman of this decade. He was a really good Superman.
Yeah, I'm putting it on the title thing right now. Warner Bros dissed Henry Cavill for reboot of Black Kal-El Superman. What the fuck?
Okay, I'm sorry, but if
Let
they're
me
gonna do a Black Kal-El Superman, he better be the best looking, tallest, thickest, rippedest black man ever. He better be like so good looking, like Henry Cavill. When you look at them and they're so good looking, that is actually offensive, right? At first you're like, wow, but then you're like, oh my god, no, right? Now you're just making the whole human race look ugly, right? He needs to be super duper good looking, and he needs to have that thick, strong voice.
I
If he's
mean
anything
okay.
short of that, if he's anything short of Henry Cavill level good looking, I'll be like, nah, this ain't it. This is not it.
I'm gonna put it straight. He's where I'm at. I'm gonna put it straight right now. Like I think any black man that does um that plays that role, it's either whether the movie's good or not, you've lost all form of respect from black people. Fact.
Yeah, true,
I'm gonna put
true.
it there. Like you can't just be you can't just be you can't just be like comedy. You can't just be.
You can't come out pandering to black people because we know the difference. Like Black Panther was like, I'm gonna go straight into Africa. I'm gonna like look at your cultures. I'm gonna do research. I'm gonna hire nothing but black people to do the music and stuff. I'm gonna use black stylists. Like they came out full on Africa, and African Americans were like, "Hey, what's up, Africa?" And we're like, "Oh, hey, what's up, girl?" And then they put Black Panther out, and then we all came out in our little Zulu outfits and our little like Ankara clothes, and we're like, "Hey, there's a little connection coming here." Whereas this just feels like pure pandering. You know, when people say, "Oh, I really like black people, I really like this," it's like it's not real. Liking the superficial stuff that people steal from black people and then filter and whitewash into the main culture and basically stealing our identities is not liking us. It's stealing what you like and thinking that you can do it better. It's just pure white supremacy. It's the audacity, right? And that's what this feels like. And black people know the difference between pandering and coming out and saying, "Hey, we love you and this is going to be a moment."
I'm not gonna lie, like so because okay, so because the way because essentially the way it went was like I think for the last 6 months to a year, it's been they've been it seems like this what for the last 2.5 years ever since Superman came out. I think actually when did the Superman movie come out? Like Man of Steel, it came out like 4 or 5 years ago. So
Yeah.
when Man of Steel came out, like the critics dissed it. I'm not gonna lie, the critics dissed it. Everybody was like, why is it such a dark type of superhero? I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. I loved that
Yeah, I
Superman
liked it.
wasn't
I
with.
liked it. I didn't want
Yeah,
it to be
it was
like the problem
it
that they
was
had with the
vastly.
other film. See, the reason I think what they did was right. Can I just say the problem that they had with the other Superman films, the one that they did before, where Superman Returns or whatever, is that
Oh,
it it wasn't the thing is right is that media art, like what do you call it, art imitating culture imitating art, right? And when this came out, we were basically all waking up and realizing that we live in a dystopic world, we've messed up and we don't even know how to get out of it. And when he created the Dark Superman, it was like right on the cusp before people started to really realize, like, when COVID happened and everybody had to stay home and do research and realize, oh my god, yeah, we've really messed up, the world is messed up, everything's effed up. But like
well,
between I want to say between about 2016 to now, people start to really, really wake up to it. And now everybody's like at the peak of like wokeness, like, yeah, we've effed up. And I feel like the Superman, the first Superman with Henry Cavill was like, before its time. Like we started to do more dark superheroes anyway, but it was like before its time,
Man of
where it was
Steel.
kind of like that you can love this Superman character and stuff like that, but we're trying to create him in a world that makes sense to us.
Yeah,
Yeah. Everything sucks. And even though
Man
Man of
of
Steel was
Steel.
amazing and
Man of Steel came
breathtaking.
out.
Yeah,
Man of
the
Steel.
world is
Man of
grey
Steel.
and the sky is grey.
Man of Steel came out in 2013. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
4 or 5 years before that, we had the 2008. Was it 2008? It was 2008 crash, where the banks had fucked up and mortgages were stupid and everybody was losing shit. And then after that, then suddenly there was this massive shift in ideas and believing in the government. There was a massive shift in
yeah.
you know you
You
had
wake up.
there was a massive wake up and things like that. People were starting to realize they need to. People started realizing the traditional ways of going to university and working and then earning money and building your
Having a
house and
job for
family and
10
whatever
years or 20
no longer
years
applies.
doesn't exist
It
anymore.
it, it,
There's no
it
job
doesn't exist
security.
anymore.
The
The,
government F's you over. And we already
that
know that the system isn't fixed,
it's
right? So we're
it's
just waiting
flawed.
for another recession to come and just
It's
destroy us all
it's
again. Like,
it was
there's
it
no
was
safety.
it was flawed. It was the banks basically screwed the people and got off scot free about it. And suddenly everybody realized they have to take their own finances to themselves, and which brought the rise of cryptocurrencies in 2009, with Bitcoin starting to hit the market, starting to hit the public, like and everything like that. And then Man, it still came out to
Oh,
essentially
wait.
represented the
Tony,
thing.
wait, don't, no, Tony, like, don't forget that it was also the rise in the side hustle. Do you remember? Everybody thought, oh, I could just get that
Yeah,
one job and I'll be
yeah,
okay. And now everyone is side hustling. I don't meet anyone that don't have a
because
main hustle and like three side
yes,
hustles because the government,
and
like, hey, they out here and they ain't saving no one.
because
And then after that, like you said, you get like the whole period where we're kind of coming out of it, and then everybody's like, it's like growing pains. And 2013 was around the time where people were starting, more and more people starting to get on the side hustle and stuff like that. But it's like, I would say like like between 2018 and 2021 has been peak wokeness, where everybody's like, yeah, like the world's messed up, we've effed up, and like
it
we
was
literally live in a dystopia. We live in a dystopia, but the man is still coming out right after that depression, that recession, and him flying, and you're like, oh, finally get a really great Superman films, and him flying through grey
I
skies
mean,
is like signals that trauma. And I think it was very realistic. So a lot of older people didn't like the movie, but I've noticed a lot of younger people, right? And our generation really liked the movie because I think it completely reflected our experience of the world we live in. Because millennials,
because
I feel like we were born in like the best and worst time where
the
we're going through all these terrible financial crashes, but then we also get the best technology. I just feel like it's the best and worst time.
I think because obviously I think prior to that there was the 2006 Superman, which was just an absolute shit stain.
It was
I'm not gonna
crap.
mince
It
words.
was crap.
It was
Like, I'm like, who were they
because
making this
it
film
was
for? Because I'm looking at it, it's
the
like, nah.
logic. The logic didn't make sense. He got so it was supposed to continue from Christopher Reeves, Superman 4, the quest for peace, where he flies out, where he goes out into space, comes back. He's supposed to come back
Yeah,
several
Superman
decades
Returns, right?
later. Yeah, Superman returns several decades later, and Lois Lane has a kid, but she still doesn't know that he's Superman. She still doesn't know that. She still doesn't know he's Superman. It's like, how can you sleep with the dude and obviously and not know that he's still Superman? What, he keeps a costume on? He has a fetish where he keeps a costume on after you guys sleep together. How does that make sense? You know,
Yeah, that's
you know what I
kind of
mean?
illogical. I feel like he should have told her before he left, honestly.
Because not even that, it puts in question her, it puts in well, I don't want to say it puts in question her integrity from the man's point of view. I'm not gonna lie. From a man's point of view, it's just like, wait, what? It doesn't make sense because it doesn't fit into her character. She's not the kind of person who's going to be a floozy. She just isn't. In terms of Lois Lane as a character, she's not the.
Okay.
She isn't though. It doesn't
I
make sense.
I know, but like when I watched that movie, I never thought she was a floozy at all. Like I would not use that word
But
to describe her. I mean, she
that's not
was
what I
I mean, when he
mean.
came back, she'd lived a life. You know, she met someone because obviously Superman slash Clark Kent is the love of her life. So it makes sense that when he literally disappeared,
She didn't
she
know he was
met
Clark Kent.
someone, tried to live a life, it didn't work out, and now she's dating Lex Luthor, which is not great.
But
But like, she just seemed like a person who lived a life. She wasn't a little girl anymore, a young woman anymore. She was just a
but
person.
that's not what I'm okay.
Floozy.
That's not
That's deep.
what I'm getting to. What I'm saying is that like she because obviously she didn't know that Superman was Clark Kent. So she must and if she
Yeah, that
has
made no sense.
Superman,
I don't think that was her. I think that was
yeah,
poor writing because, like,
yeah,
he would have told her. He would have been
but
like,
that's
"Babe, listen, I'm gonna go do this thing like really far
yeah.
away."
Obviously it boils down to poor writing, but then he also because of poor writing, it obviously makes no sense
It
for her
makes her
character.
appear not the best, but I don't think it
Yeah,
really
which was
made her appear bad at all. Like, I
no,
just didn't feel that way.
no because it. I'm not saying it makes her thing, but I'm saying it's because I'm saying the person who wrote the storyline clearly did not understand the character at all. It
Yeah,
was
yeah. To be honest,
because
yeah.
I'm not
Like
saying
even when you
because
look
I'm
at
not
like the earlier series, she's just not like that, right? She's
yeah,
just
which
not
is the
really like
point.
that, and I just feel
So
like it's not really likely that she would have moved on because
because it you know
like when you look at other series, she rarely ever moves on or like marries somebody else
okay,
when
but
Superman disappears or dies. She rarely does that. It's only when
okay,
Superman
I'm
dies and
not
has been dead for a while that she may move on. But him just
that's
disappearing or
not
something, she tends to not move on when you read the
okay.
comics.
In my opinion, okay, I'm not even going on about why that she moves on. What I'm saying is,
No.
it's
I'm
just
just
not.
saying that you're right. Like based on what
Yeah,
I've seen of her character, the guy who wrote it, the script
doesn't
writers
understand.
really didn't do enough research on her character to what kind of
Yeah,
makes sense in
what
terms of
what she would
continuity.
do. Yeah, and because she would have known who she was getting in bed with at the time. At the same time, you know, she would have known it was Clark Kent. She would no offense, and especially the fact that Superman disappears and suddenly Clark disappears at the same time. How after like a decade, she still never figured it out. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, so yeah, so
It's
we had a
disbelief,
terrible
isn't it? Because a lot of people disappear, Tony. Like it's disbelief,
no,
right? Just
yeah,
because if you disappeared, I won't think to myself, "Oh, he must be Superman." Do you know what I mean? Like that's just basic logic.
okay, but no, okay, but if you as you've watched in the many series in all the different series in all that tells the story that tells the the connection and the relationship between Clark Kent and Superman in the movies that tells the stories between Clark Kent and Superman. There has been times when she's looked at Clark Kent and she's kind of real and seen the resemblance. There has been times, but she's always dismissed it because he just because of the way he is as a
Suspension of
person.
disbelief.
This yes, special discipline. But no offense, I would have thought to myself that like the fact that Superman disappears and the fact that Clark Kent disappears at the same time doesn't. I'm sorry, but she's a world-renowned journalist. She would have just sussed it out. I'm sorry, but it just takes away. It puts a lack of it really takes away from her from the level of intelligence that the person has. I mean, she's really world class. She's a world renowned journalist. She would have worked it out within. Especially Superman disappears, Clark Kent disappears, especially for the fact that she's known Clark Kent, his behavior, his mannerism, the way he is as a person.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not in. You know what I'm saying? She would have worked it out. It takes
Mm,
away a lot from her intelligence as a person because she solved
I
so
just,
she she solved so
I'm in
many.
two. I'm in two camps about it, right? I'm in like, yeah, she probably would have figured it out because of her relationship with Clark Kent and him always disappearing at the times that Superman appears. Like after 10 years, she could have figured it out. But then there's like the other
Okay,
side of it where it's just the suspension of disbelief and how
okay.
powerful it can be.
He's
And seeing as like the whole Superman series is
you're
pretty much
doing.
based on that. And when I
I'm
wear my
I'm gonna
glasses, no one knows I'm
I'm gonna be
Superman.
like,
You know?
you see, you're okay. No face it, but you're in my reaction to you. What you're saying is that like you're doing the same thing that a lot of people do when it comes to Batman and Superman, where everybody puts this emphasis on how Batman is so intelligent and stuff, and take away the emphasis and just say, oh, well, Superman is just very strong and all these powers. But it doesn't take away from the fact that he's Fortress of Solitude, did the training, knowledge, experience, all
It's true,
behind
but they never really delve into it. Like you rarely see a
which
comic
is
book
the
where they
but
proper delve into his like intelligence and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, actually they
I
do.
mean,
There was an animation that came out, Superman All Star, where
okay.
Superman goes had to go into lost his abilities because of really massive dark nights, or the sun was blocked, and so he lost his abilities and he had to fly out into space and was in space for like 2 to 3 weeks to regenerate his abilities and stuff. And he essentially got a sun, and essentially got overexposed and became a kind of like sunburst, where basically so all these powers just started growing exponentially, and which included intelligence because of his mental processing power, and of his mental processing in terms of his brain and stuff like that. So he solved cancer. He solved cancer. He solved the Lex Luthor problem. He solved being able to give
Oh, I
people
watched
his
that.
own
Yeah, I
abilities.
watched
Yeah,
that.
yeah, which is my point. So
Okay. It's not like Tony. I said I was think I was really fair, right? I was in two camps. I said yes when you actually look at her character and then her relationship with Clark Kent and how close they were. Definitely after 10 years she would have figured it out.
figure
And
it
then
out.
at the other,
Yes,
and then I said on the other side, like the whole comic series is based on the suspension of disbelief. This dude wearing glasses looks a lot like Superman, but oh no, he can't be Superman. I mean, oh, come on, man! Like his face is everywhere.
yes,
He doesn't wear a mask, so it's like
yes.
that's why I'm in two camps. They're the ones who basically created that like fallacy, you know. So that's why I can
Right.
say that she can simultaneously have all the information and be an incredibly intelligent woman to be like, yeah, yeah, this guy was definitely
But
Superman. And also at the same
yeah.
time, the suspension of disbelief in their world is so strong that an intelligent woman like her can be like, nah, nah, like Clark is just a
Okay,
dick.
but here's the other. But I mean, okay, I think
Oh, but she never tried to look for Clark for 10 years. Have you noticed that in the movie? She never said that she tried to look for Clark for 10 years. Like, he was like, even when they weren't lovers, he was basically like her best friend.
my
He's like the
best
only one who
friend.
kind of pretty much accepted her. But she didn't look for him? That's weird.
Oh, it just makes no sense. Anyway, but moving back to so you get my point. So moving back to like the Man of Steel thing, like so yeah, so there's vows. I mean, they could have done any. So for the last year and a half, there have been rumors that basically they're going to be it's DC movies are looking to do a what's it called, are looking to start branching out to the multiverse, just like the Marvel comics are now branching out to the multiverse with Doctor Strange coming out soon. Um, DC are now looking to do the multiverse with where the Flashpoint movie is going to come, and because they already done something similar where the Ezra the Flash from the movies met the Flash from the series in like a short clip episode. So they've now made the
Oh
CW
yeah, I saw that.
series more canon. Yeah, which I mean was lame, but it was like okay, but as the fanboy me was like okay, cool, that's pretty cool. But for the last decade and a half, there's been the whole question of Henry Cavill's contract and all this thing, and it seemed like it was finally settled where Henry Cavill was going to come back as Superman, and everything was going to be great, but then there's also been rumors that obviously they're going to look at doing like an alternate universe where they're going to do Black Superman. It's like okay, cool, but it's going to be interesting Black Superman because it's going to be Val Zod, and it's going to be not
Right?
typical Superman. It's not going to be typical because Val Zod is I don't
Yeah.
think he's really
Like he's very much his own character. He's really well
yeah
developed in the comic book world.
because
You know, he has his
Val
own
Zod is
powers, his own way of thinking. He's a very
yeah
intelligent man.
well
Yeah,
Val
but they
Zod
just
because
it looks
Val
like they're
Zod
just gonna
isn't
make like
even
a black dummy version
because
of like
the thing about
like a
because
bargain bin version.
what makes it interesting as well is that Val Zod is not Kryptonian. He's something else,
Yeah,
and
I know.
his powers are much more different to Superman's, and as you said. So and everybody's been like Michael B. Jordan, and I'm like
No,
possibly.
no, I don't want Michael
I'm
B.
not.
Jordan to be Cal Zod.
I'm not gonna
One, I
lie.
hate Michael B.
I,
Jordan. Two, he's not good looking enough or swole enough to be him. Like when I think about
okay,
Cal Zod, right? I think about the
is that
perfect specimen of a black man. He's gonna be like 6'2", right? 6'1", 6'2". Obviously, he's gonna be bald because like that's the classic black man look. Let's be honest.
okay?
He's gonna
Superman's
like have
actually
a
6'4".
jawline like an anvil. Like Michael B. Jordan looks like a little girl, mate. He's gonna have a jaw like
I'm
an
not gonna.
anvil. He's gonna have that T
Michael
pose,
B. Okay,
that
okay.
alpha T pose. He got like
One
magnificent
thing you cannot
physical
say.
muscles.
One thing you cannot say. Michael B. Jordan has the jawline. I mean, he has jaws everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
no offense, but like Michael B. Jordan looks like a baby back B. So like when
I
I think
I'm
like Michael
I
B. Jordan's
don't.
okay as a bad
I'm
guy
not
in
hating
Black
on Michael.
Panther, the whiny little bad guy in Black Panther. But like for my Calzone,
I honestly,
nah, he gotta look like a damn
I
superhero. He gotta
feel
look like they
kill
took an
my.
image, an amalgamation of all the best parts of black men, and then just chiseled away into like the blackest, like the most perfect, like black marble, and then they just took it to Mount Olympus to the gods and say, "Bring it to life!" And then
I
they
think
just
because
struck it, and they're like, "Oh, we finally have the actor for this movie." That's what I want. Anything less than
I
that
think
is trash.
yeah. So I think you want a real black person, like
No, I
not
want
a
like a
kind of.
supermodel, 6'2", muscular as hell, jawline cut for jawline that can cut diamonds, and then he's gotta have that strong voice, that thick, strong voice where
Uh,
he's like, "I'm
you know, I
Calzone.
mean,
I will save everyone."
at this, I mean, to be honest, I don't disagree with you because I think because at the end of the day, if they're telling the origin, if they're telling, it all depends on where they're coming in the storyline because Val Zod Val Zod also is actually also becomes president on the planet Earth at the same time. He's also the president of
No,
the Earth, which is
no,
funny, but he's
black
also
people
like
overachieving.
he's essentially he has to also be he has to be mature rather than you
Oh
know what I mean he has
yeah,
to be
yeah. He has
of
to
a
know
certain
who he
age.
is. He definitely.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So in terms of his history or where he's going, or it depends on how they're going to tell the story. But essentially, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, even when I Black Panther, I've watched it a couple of times. But in terms of Black Panther, I would say I'm not gonna lie, Killmonger's Michael B. Jordan's acting wasn't the. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't the best.
Yes,
I,
yes.
I
Thank you, Michael
felt
B.
it
I feel
to.
like Michael B. Jordan's like a heartthrob, but he's like
I
not
don't.
that great of an actor.
I I don't. Okay, I don't think he's a terrible actor. I just
Also,
think
I'm sorry, but Michael B. Jordan, I know
he'll
like a lot of people say he's good looking, and after Black Panther, I was like, yeah, he's good looking, but then after a while, I was like, nah. But we're talking about Cal Zod, man. No, you need to have the perfect specimen, right?
like
Because let's be honest, Henry Cavill is the amalgamation of like the best looking white person ever. Like in terms of a man, like he's like the amalgamation. He has like all the traits of like
I don't
basically the
know.
dream hunky white guy, right?
I
That's
don't
why I
know. I
genuinely feel
mean,
like
okay,
I genuinely feel like Henry Cavill is a robot sent from the future to enslave women to his good looks. Like I genuinely
I
feel
mean,
like he's a
okay,
robot sent from the future.
okay,
But like,
Henry Cavill is a very good looking man, but then it's also, but then Chris Hemsworth versus Henry Cavill, that's an interesting question. You know what I mean?
no,
Um,
no. Like most people agreed that Henry Cavill is like the guy, the guy.
it's
I don't know what
my
happens on
opinion
your
is
world as a heterosexual man, but I'm literally letting you know, right, that Henry
I
Cavill is like, and also he has a better jawline than Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth is a nice bubbly dude, but we're talking about pure good looking. Like just pure good looking. Like Chris Hemsworth just seems
okay.
like an okay, good looking ish guy
Don't get me
that
wrong.
you'd meet at
I
a
think
pub. Henry Cavill is like, sir, did you just walk off the set of a modeling gig? Right? No,
I,
like it's unquestionable. But anyway, my main point is that like they chose Henry Cavill to represent like the best of the best in terms of Superman. If they don't bring me, if they don't go, listen, I'm telling you, Tigger, if they don't go to the middle of Africa or the middle of like I don't know where all the best black people hang out in America, I don't care. If they don't go to the middle of that jungle, hey, they just go
well,
like, oh, we've been
okay,
traveling a
but
hundred miles, we've been traveling for years, but we
but
finally found you,
okay.
and they're like,
To be
okay,
fair,
I want you to be in
okay,
my movie. Okay,
there's a massive
like,
difference
nah,
though.
that's it.
Okay, no, there's a massive difference because unlike Black Panther was African. Uh, in terms of his culture, Val Zod is American. Like he was found in
Yeah, no,
America, grew
dude.
up in
Yeah,
America, so he's
I
American.
understand that, but there's been a lot of African actors that have played American characters, right? Like you can still get an
Yes,
African
but
actor to play an American character,
but
but I
all
wasn't
I'm
really
saying
talking
is
about whether he like listen. I wasn't really talking about whether he was actually African or African American. Like I know Calzone is African American. I'm just saying that the actor himself. I don't care where they go. Find the location. Find the
it's
location. I already said I don't care if it's the deep South in America and like the swampland. I don't care if you have to travel all the way to the last
all
village
I'm.
in Africa. Just
But the
find my
difference
guy.
here is okay, but my point of view is that my point of view is that aesthetically, Africans are American Americans and American Americans, African Americans and Africans are very much in terms of skin
Oh
tone, in
yeah,
terms
there
of
is some
emotions.
ethnic differences. There is some
There's
ethnic
solid
differences.
there's a solid difference like to be but I mean the more interesting fact is that Africans are come in all shades of color, whereas African Americans tend to come
Yeah.
in a more kind of general tone level. Like they always come with like either mid level, either super dark or mid level tone, and then whatnot. And then they're always some kind. And then if they're lighter than that, they just kind of they're kind of some kind of diluted versions, which is fine.
To be
Um,
honest, the reason why African Americans kind of ethnically look a lot different from Africans, is because of all the genetic adage from like some of it's just intermarrying, but a
I
lot of it's
don't.
just the
Yeah,
raping of the
which
slaves. But
said on which
but
is
like I'm not
said
gonna
on
lie,
everything.
man. African people have got that jawline on lock, right? You could get the best of both worlds. You could get like a first world immigrant who's American, like, like if we had to like bring it together, we could take like an African who was raised in America. So technically he's African American, continental African American. I don't care. Black people are beautiful, African Americans are beautiful, like continental
Yeah,
Africans are
no,
beautiful.
yeah,
I
don't
feel like
need to.
African Americans understand me as
Here's
well.
my
They
thing.
don't care where you get this blackie from. Just make sure that
Okay,
you bring him in strong. Strong.
yeah, but here's my point. But here's my thing, right? I just don't think it's because so yeah. So for the last year and a half, there's been this there's been this rumor and stuff going on, and it looks like there's been churnings in going on with the industry, and Warner Bros is looking at doing this year, and everybody's assumption has always been okay. When they're gonna do Black Superman, it's not gonna cancel they're not automatically not going to cancel Henry Cavill as Superman. It's gonna be Henry Cavill on main Earth Superman, and then it's gonna be Val Zod on a different Superman on another Earth,
Oh, and then they could
and
do
it's
an
gonna
awesome
be
crossover where they both fight
yeah
Doomsday or like
multiverse
Dark Side or
and
something, and they're like, oh,
and
we must unite our fists to destroy him. I'm like, yeah, do it, do
and
it.
it's gonna be and essentially it's gonna be this kind of but and look, Val Zod is solidly, you know, in the comic books, solidly was a black person or took the form of a black immigrant person in when he came to Earth. He's not from Krypton. He's a different place,
Yeah.
and he has yeah. So and that's what everybody was thinking. It's like okay, and everybody was excited for that, and then suddenly they give us this. Oh, we're gonna do Black Clark Kent. How does
Oh, I
by the
just don't
logic,
want that. You're just regurgitating the same story. He doesn't need to be Black Clark Kent. He just needs to be a
because yeah,
representation of the Superman in his world.
what's gonna happen? He's gonna end up in Smallville, and then they're gonna and then my mom and Pa Kent are gonna be black as well, and then they're gonna raise a black baby in Smallville, Kansas, in the time of in from 1990 or 1990 or 2000, and he's gonna be a young. And he's still gonna
I
and
just
then he's
don't
gonna
want
face
that.
the
I just
struggles
don't
of
want that.
he's gonna face the struggles of being the black man, and he's just and when he slaps a nigga, when he slaps a bitch, he's gonna just break a neck.
No,
It
I
just
just
makes
don't want
no
that because I feel like that's just
sense.
so limiting for Black people in general. I just don't want that. Like, I know like a lot of African Americans are going through so much now with like the race rights and all this other stuff, but like hero movies are supposed to be escapism, right? And it's so annoying that like it's because like they're making, but this is the issue, they make Black identity so politicized. Because I was recently watching a video by a YouTuber, and she was talking about the Black Lady in Luxury movement, which is literally just a fun movement to show Black women not struggling, going to nice parties, being safe, looking nice. It's just escapism to like relax. But then other Black people saying, "Oh no, you can't show this. Like, even though you can live in luxury, Black people still struggle." It's like you can like walk and chew gum at the same time, right? We can acknowledge that Black people suffer and also show Black people having fun. Like this is the other thing about it with Black stereotypes. It's not good for Black people to be seen as like a painful existence. I mean, a lot of people will just avoid Black people because they just seem like they're having a painful existence. I mean, if someone always looks like they're in pain, it's like you don't really want to be around that. Like you get like empathetic pain. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
just feel
yeah,
like the other thing that was good about Cal Zod is because he didn't grow up on Earth. He doesn't have the baggage and the self doubt that comes from being born a Black person in this world, right? He sees himself as a person who can do things, and that's powerful, right? Somebody without that baggage being shown to young Black people, or I guess in this case Black men, that you can be more. This little box that you've been put in is not it. Is so powerful and it's so important. That's why I like things like that, because your whole life and your whole identity shouldn't be so overly attached or overly identified with the struggle, racism, this, that, and the other. I mean, when you wake up and drink your coffee, you're thinking, oh man, this black coffee is being so racist to me and stuff like that. I'm not dismissing the importance of what Black people go through or what Black people are going through right now. I'm not dismissing it. I'm just saying that we're more. And if we are shown that we're more and others see that we're more, then we won't just continuously be boxed and identified as the struggling Black person, right? They'll be like, oh,
I
they're
think
struggling, but there's also this.
yeah, I think what you said is the truth. It's more the idea that like it's more the idea like because I think we've been living I think what we've been living through, I think what a lot of black people have been living throughout the since day dot, especially through after slavery and stuff like that, is that they've been living through from what everybody's been living through one form of representation to another, and there's just not been a there's and it seems like you can only go from one thing to another as the main thing. You can't just it can't be that actually no there are black people who are living this kind of gangster life or whatever wanna there are black people who are living this kind of boss ass life where they are CEOs and they are moving in business terms, and there are black people who are activists who are fighting for the rights, all at the same time, and there are black people who are just living regular normal lives, who don't want to be on the front thing, or who don't want to be judged for their skin or whatnot. But I just want to live a simple, quiet life at the same time. I think we've been living. I think most of it has been that we've been living from one every single decade has been one image as the main focus of what black representation of what black is. You know what I mean? Like in
Yeah,
the
that's
eighties, it
true.
was
And it's tiring.
in the eighties it was about fight. It was about the stand ups. It was about fighting for. It was about black power fighting for themselves and being the rebellions. In the nineties, it was about black gangsters and living that gangster life. In the 2000s, it was about
Oh, 80s
hip
and
hop.
90s, yeah, it
Uh,
was so much
uh,
black exploitation and the war on drugs,
yeah.
etc.
In the 70s it was about in the 60s and 70s it was about black people coming to the forefront of music and being background actors in those times. And then
Well, they weren't
in
just
the
black
80s.
around actors. Like in movies, like the 70s was the black exploitation era, where a lot of the stereotypes that we're dealing with today came through movies. Black
Yeah,
exploitation.
well, yeah, but all I'm saying is, it's been one major representation after another, and suddenly, and it's
I know,
like
but
it's
it's
always
all
been
just been
progressed.
struggle. It's all
And
been just negative, mostly.
yeah, yeah, and it's like this. There's never been allowed to be a collective of representation to show the difference between black people and white people and one. And so yeah, so the Henry Cavill stuff, yeah, and it's just like it's because fundamentally by itself, black Superman and white Superman are completely different people. Because why? Because black Superman, by the nature of his skin tone being black, makes him automatically stronger. Fact. Because black skin absorbs sunlight much more efficiently than white skin does. Fact. So automatic, and this is the scientific truth about it. Because if his powers are conducive to sunlight, radiation, absorption, everything, makes him automatically stronger than the white version of Superman. That is the truth. Nah, but the reality is, as a black person, as a black comic lover, at the same time, I love Superman. Is my favorite. He's my favorite superhero. I have so many
Uh,
I have so many feelings and things behind it. Yeah, but hands down, I've never gone. Oh, I want Kal-El to be black. I've never thought that. Never wanted that. For them
yeah,
to
like we
for
just
them to
like
kind of try and
this is the
change it
thing.
makes
So many white
no
people
bloody
complain that I
sense.
don't want people.
Sorry,
What?
you were saying? It just
No, no,
that
after you.
it just yeah, that it just makes no sense. It's like, why in the world would you? Henry Cavill delivered. I'm not gonna lie, Henry Cavill. He was after the
Do you know what?
Superman
Do you know what? Can I
2006
just say
debacle.
something?
Henry Cavill delivered.
Can I
He
just
was the
say something?
best.
This isn't
Yeah,
actually
sure.
new. This is actually new. This rumor's been going around for years, by the way, and the rumor resurfaced again. The Justice League movie, the crappy one, not the
Yeah,
recut that came out years later. Like the
yeah, yeah.
recut is a
The
masterpiece,
Snyder,
but like the
the
first
Snyder
one
cut.
around that time where what's his name, Ben Affleck, when he left,
Uh huh.
people were going on that there were massive issues with the movies, and it wasn't just him
Yeah.
who was disgruntled. The other actors were also disgruntled. Also, I think the reason why they diss Cavill is because, let's be honest, Cavill's getting the biggest check, right? He's getting the biggest check. So I think they
No.
did this in order to
Not
cut him
true.
down like a peg or two,
No.
because
No.
Warner Brothers has been known to do that. They've been known to undercut
No.
people, right?
No, no, no. Okay, so
No, like it's no, seriously, it's a
no,
thing, dude. Seriously, it's
I
a
know
thing.
I know the research on this. I've done the research on this like a couple of years ago. So basically, what actually happens is that after Henry Cavill did the Superman movie, Henry Cavill became the forefront, became the renowned known person, a renowned known actor as Superman. He brought in the fans. The fans came back to love the character again after the 2006 debacle. And so and he was already signed up to do another movie. So when Warner Bros came back, but at the time when Henry Cavill came in to do Superman, he was unequivocal. He was at the time, let's say a B to A level actor, because he was never really known for all the other movies that he's done, apart from Count of Monte Cristo, and even I didn't even know
Yeah,
that it
yeah,
was him
but
that
he
was
was a
there.
child actor then. Like nobody would
Yeah,
have like.
and so what essentially happened was when he came in as to do the Superman movie, they paid him a certain amount for the level of actor that he was at the time. But then obviously afterwards, he reignited the character. He brought in the fans.
Yeah, so he
Everybody
renegotiated
loved
his
him for it.
contract and he was worth
So
more,
he
so he asked for more
so
money.
he
Like, dude, I
so
already
so
know
he
this
was
story.
paid
I
more.
literally just told you that
Yeah.
they probably did this to undercut him.
What it wasn't really to. I think it was the fact that they changed and switched over to another black character.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't think they were trying to full on get rid of Superman. To be honest, Warner Brothers is crazy. They could try to get rid of Henry Cavill, but I
They've
think it was to
ruined the whole
undercut him
thing, to be
because
honest.
there has been rumors ages ago that he was always trying to get more money on his contract. Because let's be honest, he is like the showstopper. He's the one who brings in everything, so he's gonna be asking for more money, and his check for Superman is pretty damn big. Right, so I think them calling bringing out the whole idea that, oh, we're gonna do this again, but we're gonna do Black Superman instead. I feel like they're testing the waters. And the thing is, right, is that they thoroughly underpay at black actors. Even if the black actor that they choose comes in and the movie's really great and everything like that, I feel like he's still not gonna get paid anywhere near as Henry Cavill because they do it all the time to black actors. It's like you get the same Superman, but you get even more profit because black people are what you call it, are hyper shoppers, are hyper spenders. The black dollar or the black, the black currency or the black economy is incredibly powerful. It's like small because it's like spread out everywhere, but it's insanely powerful, right? So I think they're going to
Very
test the
true.
waters. If the movie comes out and does really, really well, I think that what they're going to do is push back a Henry Cavill movie or like cut his contract to like maybe one or something, or negotiate with him to say, oh, look, we've got this black Superman now and he's making even more money than you and he's cheaper than you. I think
Power
you should
move.
negotiate. I think we can negotiate your contract lower. I honestly think that that's what they're doing because Warner Brothers has been known to undercut people like this. They're crazy.
So here is my conundrum. That my question about it. I know the one I want to put to you, because I have no idea what I really what I'd want to do. So if they release, because I'm not gonna lie, because I think Marvel was trying to do the same thing that DC's trying to do the same thing that Marvel did with the Black Panther thing, because they're trying to, because they saw that, because Black Panther is one of the top
Oh,
four
I agree 100%.
most
I will
gross.
agree
And
100%.
here's my question. If they do this movie and if it does come out and everything, what do black people do? Do we pander, or do we pander and watch this movie and then just bloody
Well,
wait
not
to sit
pander. We'll
down?
allow them to pander to us, I guess.
Not what pander for, but do we watch this movie for what it is and judge it fairly, or whether it's good or bad, or do we boycott this movie and say, do you know what? If you're not gonna give us the characters, if you're not gonna give us a actual character that has been systematically, that has his origins in the comic books as fully black, such as John Stewart Green Lantern, or Blade, or John Stewart Green Lantern,
Yeah, give us an
Steel,
original character instead of a
Icon,
black knockoff
you know,
of a white character.
if you're not going to give us if you're not going to give us these characters, is it our duty to block? Is it our duty to not watch these shows, to not watch this movie,
I
and
mean,
basically make it a flop, so that they will never do, so that
we can't.
they never do something, so that they come correct next time?
Honestly, we can't guarantee that. The truth of the matter is that even in just America alone, black people are so diverse, so many different religions, so many different backgrounds, so many different languages. Even within the African American, even in the African American group, there's like different ethnic groups. Do you know what I'm saying? And like, black people in America are also all over the spectrum in terms of politics as well. They are so damn diverse. And then that's just America alone, right? African Americans is their own ethnic group alone, right? We're not even talking about like black Africans or the African diaspora, right? We are not even talking about that, or even or even like South America. Crazy, crazy. So it's like you just say, "Oh, do we boycott this movie?" I mean, every now and then, black people all around the world have like a hive mind, and we're like, "Yeah, this ain't it." and then we just make something flop. But when it comes to this movie, I think so many black men specifically have always wanted a black Superman. So even if the movie's crappy, I think they'll still make a profit because I feel like enough black men are gonna want to watch it just so that they can see that fantasy where the ideal person, staring over everyone, floating above everyone like a god, isn't a white man. So I
Yeah,
really I
yeah.
really do think, I think like just the major appeal itself is the pandering, is the fact that, oh my god, we're finally going to get a canon black Superman, even though so many of them don't read enough comics to realize that there's always been a black Superman. He may not be that popular because we get the white Superman like splashed everywhere, but he's always existed, and he's fantastic and has a lot of he has his own mythology. He has his own world, like completely fleshed out, right? But because so many people who like watch these films and stuff like that, most people go, "Oh, Superman, that's great," but most people aren't as literate in comics to realize that you don't need to take this fake, crappy version of a Superman, of a black Superman. There is one that really genuinely exists, right? And
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
demand that. So I feel like
Honestly,
a lot
I
of people, I
mean,
feel like a lot of black men are just gonna watch it just for the feels, right? So I feel like the movie will probably do okay. I don't think it'll do amazingly like Black Panther because it doesn't have the whole finesse. It doesn't have that certain je ne sais quoi that says this is a love letter to you black people. This is like us connecting, right? I feel like it's clearly going to be a money grab, but I feel like enough
yeah.
people are gonna catch feelings that they're going to support it. So I can't really say anything on
I,
that.
I, I, I mean, I honestly, I agree with you. I think